Git here? Yeah, that one.
I have, but I can't say that I can give you any expert guidance so far.
No, you don't. I think I understand it now after a lot of reading. But yeah, just curious who else actually uses it. And other than Nathan, I didn't know anyone else that did.
I've only been using it through the Joomla site, through the Joomla project stuff in the last couple of months. The magazine uses it as a repository for tracking all the article progress and issues, more like a Trello board than a version control system. But
that's the GitHub repository, and that isn't it?
Yeah. And then the real power is when you've got Git running locally on your computer to either pull down from GitHub or just manage your own files. But when I wrote the article last month on that, it didn't kick in to say what. The article name's misleading. So technically I installed Git because I ran the executable on Windows, but the article was actually more how to install XAMPP and get local environment in place.
Yeah, I followed your article with that, but then I got sidetracked and went back to just having a look at Git. And I wanted, I'm just curious about how other people have set it up, because I've set up like a local environment for my development work, and there just seem to be so many different ways of doing it. And I was thinking about how Nathan was using for managing that same website of his.
Right.
And I was curious how he's using it, because I couldn't make sense out of what I've learned, how you would actually use it to do that. So it's not so much how to use Git, but how to set Git up to make it useful to.
Yeah, so I've got it set up to. I'm looking at setting it up with Dreamweaver, only because I use the Adobe suite. But if you're using Eclipse or PHP Storm or something like that, you can have it so that effectively it writes, and this is my understanding of it so far, it writes files back to your repository and does the diff changes and logs all of that like it would, as it sort of works as advanced FTP, and does all the administration around the file as part of the process. That's the theory. I think I like Britt's suggestion. I should get in touch with Peter Bowie to get him to do a presentation on it, because it's one of those barriers to entry at the moment with the Joomla project as to getting involved in coding for the project. One of the things that you need to be able to do is know how to contribute the code using the Git format to then update different things. So, and I've got to get to that point to put in my 30 file 8 issue update pull request in a couple of months. Evening, Glenn, welcome.
G'day, Patrick. How are you?
Good. I'm just going to try and find where the Russell's joining us shortly. He's online, but I guess we're going to have a flood in about 5 minutes of people. So this is the other thing I hear, Terry, is that it tends to be that you would use Git for the back end of your website because it's to do with pushing the PHP files, not on the actual content side of the.
Yeah, it's like, from what I can see, it only works on flat files, so it's not going to work with images, databases, or Word files, or whatever. But I started writing an article. Whether I don't know what I do with it, but I'll give it to you for your magazine or whatever. But just trying to get the concepts around, because most of the stuff I read actually describes it really poorly, and some of them even do pictures, and it's like doesn't even match what that. Now that I've on it, played with it, it just doesn't even match their concepts.
And were they the GitHub guides, or were they just other? Or are they Joomla documentation, which is more concerned?
Yeah, I can understand where or how GitHub works into it, but if you're just setting up a basic Git environment just to monitor a few files and I can see other places you could use it outside of Joomla.
Yep.
But it's just very confusing. Like I even failed on somebody had an article that was how to explain Git to a 5-year-old, and I'm stuffed if I could follow it. It was bloody useless. So
you're not 5, Terry. So
yeah, I know. Well, that's the problem.
Welcome, Russell.
G'day.
Sorry, we're just talking GitHub. Are you a Git user in your projects? Or? Are you a Git user, Russell? Or?
Casual, not serious. But I get a lot of stuff off GitHub. Yeah, an awful lot. But I don't really have any active projects on it at this point.
That's right. So Terry was just asking about using Git to manage a repository, and that's a topic to look at down the track. I think as a more advanced target market. I think so.
One of the things I found when I was reading all the stuff is to set up or arrange the file, the component things, like I'm working with components and whatever. So how to actually set it up before you actually start using Git. And so now I'm sort of converting stuff over into using symbolic links. So it's not in the actual directory of the like the Joomla install on the local host. Yep. I found that even if you don't use Git, I found just going through that exercise makes life a whole lot easier.
They're effectively like aliases and shortcuts, aren't they? Aliases on a Mac and shortcuts on Windows. Yeah.
There's hard links and soft links. Soft links are shortcuts, and hard links are physically the file sits elsewhere.
Yeah.
But to Joomla, it looks, or to whatever you're using, it looks. Anyway, I'll let you get to your meeting.